أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. By the barakah of Sidi Shaykh, Sidi Mohamed Faouzi al-Karkari قدس الله سره. Notes from lecture of April 21st, 2026, part 2. Before starting this video, I would like to state that this work would never have seen the light without Sidi Shaykh. If something is wrong, it will be from myself, and everything that is correct is from Sidi Shaykh. A disciple recounted that in a dream vision he saw one of the disciples playing on his back. Inwardly, he was saying to himself, "This movement from the disciple is nothing but love and longing for the Shaykh." Then Sidi Shaykh turned to the disciple and struck him across the face with his palm. He said to himself, "This is love." Sidi Shaykh struck him a second time across the face, and again he said to himself, "This is love." A disciple standing nearby was laughing and remarking, "He hits him and he calls it love." Then Sidi Shaykh struck him a third time, and once again he said, "This is love." The Shaykh then drew a curved line across his face. He turned to the laughing disciple and said, "You see, it's the lamb." In the first segment of his response, Sidi Shaykh spoke about the journey of the disciple with the Shaykh and the importance of following the Shaykh. In this segment, Sidi Shaykh continued his explanation. He returned to the disciple's dream vision and stated that if the disciple is carrying another disciple on his back, even if that disciple is at play, he is still carrying a burden. Sidi Shaykh explained that in terms of following, al-bayʿa, one must let go, must divest. Adornment, taḥliya, comes only to the degree of the divestment, takhallī. Sidi Shaykh cautioned that some carry the thoughts of the disciples, some carry their worries, some carry their grief or their joy. And one should not imagine that this is a fine quality that earns elevation. It amounts to nothing. Sidi Shaykh stated that in the congregation, one must fix their hearing and sight entirely on following the Shaykh, not on those alongside them. For example, in the row, during the bowing, one of them passes away. Does the congregation complete the prayer or stop to prepare the body and join the funeral procession? They complete the prayer. That person is not their concern. He is left as he is, and the prayer continues. There is no turning toward him. Likewise, if someone collapses from a seizure, falls into a fainting spell, or is struck by a muscle spasm, his situation is not their concern. Sidi Shaykh explained that this congregation, though it contains millions, is established through the tunis, الثنائية, between the disciple and the imam. However, if the imam falls, it is as though the disciple himself has fallen, and he steps into his place. If the imam collapses or is suddenly taken by death, the disciple takes his place not in order to complete the congregational prayer, but rather to complete his own prayer within his own congregation with his imam. He thus takes the imam's place, and the congregation behind him continues to follow, not because they are following him, but because their original intention was to follow the imam, and they continue upon that very same intention. As for carrying anyone else upon himself, it should not be the disciple's concern. He does not carry their hearing nor their sight, for they, in relation to him, are play, not serious matter. Had the other been serious, he would have been praying as it has been described. But he is not in prayer, he is at play, and it is only a small child who plays with a person during prayer while the prayer is completed and nothing is held against either of them. The child is innocent, and in the sacred law, the worshipper does not concern himself with the child. He must complete the prayer without harming him, for in doing so, he affirms his own absorption in the prayer and his khushu' within it. Sidi Shaykh explained that prayer is the continuous and unceasing bond, not something confined to the time of prayer alone. The time of prayer is, as it were, a measure, a moment in which the signal of following the Imam is given. From the moment the bay'ah is taken, just so until the bay'at al-Ridwan is reached, one remains upon this echo, and it is never to be abandoned. This is how it is, for when one hears, "Verily those who pledge allegiance to you are pledging allegiance to Allah," is Allah remaining or ceasing? He is, of course, remaining. And so this bay'ah remains continuous. It has no fixed limit, no stopping point. Sidi Shaykh addressed those who imagined that the bay'ah was taken from the Shaykh for the purpose of learning, and once the secret has been learned and received, it is done. When the Shaykh says, for example, you have attained the secret of the seclusion, or the secret of the first lecture, al-Qira'ah al-Ula, if you wish to remain, remain, and if you wish to go, go your way. This saying of go your way is not a dissolution of the bay'ah. The disciple is still bound to remain upon the bay'ah, to remain upon its path and its way until he meets Allah. The bay'ah was given under the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Verily those who pledge allegiance to you are pledging allegiance to Allah." The disciple sees the Shaykh as the awe and manifestation of the truth, and as the greatest veil for him. For if the disciple were to leave and dissolve the covenant, all the veils would be dissolved for him, not one veil remaining and not another. The Shaykh spoke to the disciple in the language of the secret and said, "You have reached the first secret. If you wish to withdraw, you need no longer to be bound to us in the Zawiyah or in Tajreed. Go marry and attend your daily affairs." This does not mean the disciple has left the path. No, it means he attends his daily affairs while remaining bound to his awrad and to what is his to give and receive. And at the same time, he remains within the same circle, except that there is no further increase for him. But there is no dissolution of what was first contracted. Sidi Shaykh noted that one does not truly understand what the bay'ah means, nor what the bond, as-sila, means. One imagines the bay'ah is merely for the fulfillment of a need, and once that need is fulfilled, the matter is closed. No, verily those who pledged allegiance to you are pledging allegiance to Allah, and one's needs in Allah is not bound to one time over another, nor to one place over another, but extends across all times and all places. This bay'ah thus remains continuous, and for this reason the Lord warns, "Woe to the one who breaks it, for it is whoever breaks his pledge breaks it only against himself." The breaking is not against the Shaykh, nor against any servant, nor against Allah. It is against oneself. If this bay'ah is broken, the disciple bears alone the responsibility for his life, his death, and his grave, and he forfeits his share in the bay'ah, in this acknowledgement, and in this following. One might say, "I cannot remain in this following because I fall into errors." Yes, that is permitted, but one disavows the errors, not the bay'ah. One falls into errors, mends them, and learns. So that was all for this video. Alhamdulillah الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق. اللهم لك الحمد، اللهم لك الحمد، اللهم لك الحمد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، والحمد لله رب العالمين.